What's up, guys? Welcome back. Episode number 5. Whenever we'll stop counting, I don't know.
Episode number 5 of the Cumcast.
C squared.
With Cody and Ryan Cummings. Nobody knows what fucking C squared is.
Cummings. 2 Cummings. C squared. Cumcast. C squared.
Double cum.
Double means.
Twice the cum. Twice the cum.
Twice the fun. Loving?
Fun.
Boldness?
Fun.
My boobies itch. I got a rash.
Double the chins. Anyway, Ryan has a rash. We don't know why.
At this current time, we are on vacation. We are on a cruise to the Bahamas.
And then we were hanging out in Florida afterwards.
Yep. We don't need to give everybody the details.
No
We have stalkers.
No, we don't have anybody.
I don't think we have any stalkers.
We don't have anybody.
But anyway, yeah, we're on Florida at this current time.
We're on Florida.
We're at Florida.
We're in Florida at this current time.
Well, yeah.
Well, at this current
time, we're still on the cruise.
At this current time, we're still on the cruise. Getting off the cruise, but I'm sure we're having a great time. Yay! Drunk as fuck. Can't remember a goddamn thing. Hopefully, remember a little bit of it.
I hope.
But
we've had past excursions when we've gotten too hammered and don't remember how we got back to some places. And we're going to talk about that today. Because this episode is labeled Vacations and the crazy shit that happens on vacations that we've had so far.
Yeah. Vacations and the crazy shit
which
that
I honestly think we've only had 2, right?
Yeah, we should label it Vacations and the crazy shit that happens on them.
Put that on a coaster if you're not making noise.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, the title of this, it's just episode 5, but we're talking about vacations and this stupid shit that we've done so far on vacations. So I guess, I don't know. Let's get her kicked off. Which one do you want to talk about first? Because there's only really 2 of them.
Well, first we got to talk about the beer of the week.
Fuck, I guess. Go ahead.
The beer of the week. Beer of the week, guys.
I can put an echo on it. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to now because then it'll sound stupid. Of the week.
If you so from now on, you need to put an echo on.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, do that.
No.
Yeah, Dom is going to keep doing it.
Okay.
Okay, so beer of the week.
It's the same shit because we're just recording it after this.
So beer of the week, even though it's the same day because we're going to be on vacation.
Yeah, so
beer of the week, it's still Gumball Head.
Because I'm gonna have one since it's the same thing.
Huh?
Should you even have one since it's the same thing?
I don't know. We're just gonna make it anyway because it's gonna be the next week anyway. But I'm still drinking Gumball Head, guys. Of course. Like I said, by Three Floyds Brewing Company, I highly recommend it. I'm honestly not sure what states they offer this in. I know it's brewed in Munster, Indiana, which is I think it's northwest Indiana, very high northwest Indiana. I'm not sure what states you can get in. I do know that there is some breweries in Michigan that they don't get in Ohio. There's beers that are brewed in Michigan they don't get in Ohio. It's like a tri-state area that doesn't include Ohio. It's weird. Craft breweries are weird with their locations and their shipments. But I'm sure that you've heard of Three Floyds if you're in the general vicinity of Indiana, somewhere along the East Coast. I'm sure you've heard of Three Floyds. And if you haven't, you got to get it. But I highly recommend that Gumball Head. I'm still drinking it because it is that good.
So again, guys, we're talking about vacations that we've had in the past. Funny shit that happened on vacation. I guess the first one we'll start with is Mexico. We went to Mexico in
2015.
Yeah, well, it was the new year was January.
It was
January
late
2015.
January. Let's just start on how we got to go to Mexico. We got to go to Mexico.
I got to go to Mexico.
We got to go to Mexico because Ryan submitted to a fucking radio contest on a country music station here in Indiana.
Who knew?
I think it's based out of Columbus.
I think they transmit out of Columbus, but I think the place is actually in Washington State.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Seattle.
So anyway, Ryan won a radio contest, which have you ever fucking met anybody that's won a radio contest? I haven't. Ryan won a radio contest for a free vacation to Riviera Maya, Mexico, for a week.
4 days, 5 nights, I think.
4 days, 5 nights, something like that. He won a radio contest
5 days, 4 nights
for a free vacation to Luke Bryan. If you're not familiar, I'm sure everybody knows.
It's been around. That was the first year.
I'm sure everybody knows who Luke Bryan is, but he has a tour called Crash My Playa Tour, and it is in Riviera Maya, Mexico. We got to go to the first year of that for free and see all these concerts for free on the beach, free resort, free everything for a week. So we got to go to that, and that was our first.
It wasn't free.
Yeah, the only thing was it wasn't free.
On your taxes.
It comes back on your taxes
if you pay taxes.
But if you think about it, it really wasn't that bad. If you think about it, really wasn't that bad.
Kind of was.
How much did you have to pay for that on taxes?
I ended up owing $300.
So you owed $300 for a $4,000 trip.
Basically, yeah, which is fucking insane. That was $4,000. But the thing is, we were
$4,000 though. But the trip itself,
we were there for 4 days, and it was every night was a concert. Luke Bryan played twice, and they had Florida. Oh damn! I got a cramp. And we had Florida Georgia Line
twice. We had Florida Georgia Line twice.
They only played once.
No, they played twice.
Did they?
Yeah, we had Florida Georgia Line twice. We had Chris Stapleton, which before he hit it big, it was the year before his album came out. But Chris Stapleton was there. Who else was there?
Jesus Christ.
There was a bunch of other people that were there.
They're all big now.
They're all huge now, but back then they weren't as big. The only one that was really that big was Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan. But so we went there because he won a fucking radio contest, and we had a hell of a time. Well, this was back when I was a little bit bigger and I was in college and I was out of shape. So I was out of shape, and when we got there, it was January, so I was wearing sweatpants. And
we both were.
Yeah, we were both wearing sweatpants. By the time we got...
It was fucking January. It's cold.
By the time we got to the resort, which was... They had dropped us off at the wrong resort. There was 5 resorts in one... Okay, there was 5 hotels in one resort. And by the time they dropped us off at the resort, it was the wrong one. And we only had to walk about 10 minutes, but it was like 80 degrees, and we were both unhealthy as shit, out of shape, in sweatpants.
Carrying like 22-pound bags.
Carrying like 22-pound bags in Mexico because we're there
with no shoulder straps.
Yeah, with no shoulder straps. So out of shape and just sweating like pigs, and pigs don't really sweat. But so when we finally get there, we get to our room, and the guy doesn't have a cart because we're late already. Everybody else there is...
Yeah, we're like an hour late.
Yeah, we're like an hour late.
He sat there for like 45 minutes. He's like, yeah, the shuttle will come by and take you guys to your hotel. And we're like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, or you can walk. It's like legit like 5-minute walk. I'm like, okay. So we sat there for like 45 minutes. The fucking thing it never came. And by the time we got to our hotel, it was leaving our hotel and was headed to the one that we were at. So... it was ridiculous, and we eventually just walked there and finally fucking made it. Oh my god. And we checked in and everything, and the little Hispanic guy that was taking us up to our room, he didn't have a cart or nothing. He's like, you guys take elevator, and I'll run up, and like, I'll meet you guys upstairs. And we're like, okay. So he just like grabs both of our 22-pound bags, throws them on his fucking shoulders, runs up the stairs, both flights of stairs, gets to our room. We come out of the elevator, and I remember because the floor was wet, and I guess some people came from the pool or whatever, and the floor was wet, and I had turned that corner, and I was wearing like these weird shoes, and I slipped and fell right on my fucking face as soon as we got there.
So we're hot, sweaty, just got to the resort, we're late, and Ryan busts his ass, and the dude is at our room waiting for us. I see him, he is staring at us, waiting for us to get to the door, which is going to take us a good 15 seconds to walk to the door. So he's waiting for us, and Ryan busts his ass.
Yeah.
And that probably made his day, honestly.
Well, he was just like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just pretty fucking embarrassed right now. I slipped on a wet fucking floor, but them things were like tile. And you know how tile is when it's wet, and you just got like, I was wearing them stupid New Balances that were like the all-terrain things, because I'm a nerd and I wear New Balances, and the all-terrain ones.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with New Balance. I got New Balance underwear on right now.
Yeah, but they're made for like hiking in, and I was wearing them, just to walk in, and I ended up getting a blister because that was the first time I ever wore them. A fucking huge ass blister on my big toe.
Speaking of that, my New Balance underwear I got on right now is awesome.
I don't care. But anyway, yeah, we finally made it. We finally got to our room, and it was time to hang out and party. We fucking got out of our sweatpants the first fucking thing. Pretty sure the first thing we did was went to the bathroom, and then we got.
First thing we did was went to the bathroom, and then we showered. We both showered. And then hung out for a minute, and then we decided to go to dinner because
we didn't get there until like maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, we were flying all day because we had a layover in Atlanta, which is the biggest airport in the United States. Atlanta Airport in Atlanta, Georgia, is the biggest airport in the United States.
Has to be.
It has to be. And they have a train from the onboarding and the outboarding. So
it's like a subway, basically.
It's an underground tunnel. We had a 45-minute layover. It took us that exact amount of time to get from one terminal to the other. But because of that, we flew pretty much all day, and we were so tired.
That's the first time we ever been on a plane, too.
Right. And that was kind of scary, too, flying overseas. But so we were so tired, and we just wanted to get some food and drink. We just wanted to get drunk and get some food, basically.
The first night, that was my main fucking goal.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Luke played till the next night.
No, somebody played. I can't remember who played. I think it was
Justin Party or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was a few people that
Jason
were small.
Party, whatever his name is.
I can't remember.
Justin Party?
Yeah. So it was a few people that were smaller back then. Like I said, it was 2015. And they were smaller back then, and we just were not concerned at all to go to the concert because we would have to walk all the way there. And
little did we know, it was a fucking mile from the last hotel to the fucking beachfront where this.
It was quite a way. It's quite a walk, honestly.
Stupid fucking concert was.
Now we were also shit faced when we were walking that way, so it wasn't.
Well, we're not there yet. We just fucking got there.
It probably wasn't as far as we thought. But so that's all we wanted to do was get drunk and eat food. So we both take a shower, we rest for a little bit, and we go eat dinner. And it's already dark out, so it's probably 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. And really, the only place to drink. I mean, there's the bar by the pool only sold like food and soft drinks. But there was one bar that they had like the theater where you could watch movies. It was like an outside theater, and they had a bar. And the only other bar was in the hotel like lobby bar type thing, and that was really nice how they had it set up and everything. And like everybody that come in there was all dressed up, and me and Cody are sitting there we're the only two people at the bar. I remember every time we went in there, we were the only two people. Everybody else sat in chairs around the whole place, but only two people at the bar. And we were dressed in cutoffs and shorts every night whenever we went in there.
Every night.
Because it's in fucking Mexico. It's hot.
Well, the first night when we went to go get food at the dining hall, which super nice at the Riviera Maya Resort. It's the Barcelo Hotel and Resort.
You're not promoting it. I mean, you don't.
It was the five. No, I want to go back there sometime. It's expensive as shit because it's a 5-star resort.
The only thing was, I mean, it all looks good and all that shit, but the worst thing about it is the dessert. It's like 5-star dining. The food was pretty good. But dessert, it looks pretty, but it tastes disgusting.
It was gross.
In Mexico, they don't have like regular sugar and all that stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure they have regular sugar in Mexico.
I don't know what they use, but it wasn't sweet.
It's called fondant. It's called fondant.
Everything was bland.
Fondant is a molding material. It's how they make stuff. It's how, like, if you want to form
like Play-Doh.
If you want to form like a set of tits on a cake, it's made out of fondant. It doesn't taste.
So it's like the Play-Doh, like
it tastes horrible. Yeah, it's like the Play-Doh of the cake world.
Putty type stuff.
It tastes horrible.
But I've had that stuff before, and it's kind of sweet.
Well, it depends on what kind you use.
It's like a thick icing.
A lot of it's horrible. A lot of it's very bad. Like when we went to the bachelor party and they had the nipple cupcakes. That was fondant. No, nobody ate the nipples on the top of the cupcakes.
I ate mine.
Cupcakes. I didn't.
I did.
That was fondant. Anyway, the first time we were there, when we went to go get food, Ryan didn't realize that you had to have sleeves on your shirt to be in the dining center. So he wore a cut-off t-shirt, and I wore a regular t-shirt. And when we got there, she said, "Oh, sorry, you can't come in if you don't have sleeves." So Ryan had to walk all the way back to the room, and he's like, "You come in?" And I said, "Fuck no, I'm sitting right here." So I sat right there in that chair for about 20 minutes and waited for him to come back with his shirt on. And that was I'm pretty sure it was the only sleeve shirt you had that weekend, wasn't it? Wasn't the only sleeve shirt you had?
No, I had a couple, but yeah, I didn't know because the thing about it is because I won this thing and I didn't get any information. The reason that we ended up at the wrong hotel in the first place because they didn't tell me which hotel. I figured there was one hotel in this entire resort, and we show up and there's fucking 5 of them.
There's 5 separate hotels.
They go from least to most expensive, and we were like directly in the middle, and
which is really nice, by the way.
I guess, but they like color coordinate them. They're just like. They asked the questions just like, "Oh, what color is this hotel?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And it was like, "Oh, they color coordinated," and they had to go down and ask what color they were. And they're like, "Oh, this is the blue motel." And then like 90% of the people on that bus got off, and I was like, Cody's like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess we fucking get off." So we got off, and they gave us like a free drink, and we get in there to registration. There's like. We sat there for 15 minutes at registration. And it's like, "Oh, no, you're at the hotel next door." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So we fucking grab our shit, huff and puff, all the way there. And then now we're there. And, now we're back to where we were. We were, eating. I got my shirt changed. We're eating dinner. And we go out and we're like, "Well, what do we do next?" We didn't have anything planned. We didn't want to go to the concert because it was our first night there and we were tired. So we decided to get hammered. So we went to the lobby bar, and we were just hanging out there. And probably the first night was the best night, because that's when we met our 2 bartenders that we hung out with the whole entire time we were there. And we were just hanging out and getting hammered, and we were just drinking. And, I mean, they pour it pretty heavy in Mexico, because it's in them all-inclusive resorts, they just sit there and they don't have no, 3 count for a shot. It's just they pour it until it looks pretty fucking good. But
yeah, and the bartenders' names were Sergio and Fred.
Yeah.
Sergio and Fred. And I remember the first drink. I said, "Ryan, we're in Mexico." I said, "We're having a good time." I said, "Let's order a traditional Mexican drink."
You wanted to have all this girly bullshit.
I said, "Give us 2 pina coladas."
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I was like, that ain't a fucking Mexican drink. A fucking margarita is a good Mexico drink to have in Mexico. I said, "Why the fuck are we ordering pina coladas?" It was a good ass pina colada though.
I spilled it all over me.
But we were already so drunk that Ryan tried to take a drink of it and he spilled it all over the front of his shirt. Did not even care. I said, "Go change your shirt," and he just would not get up and go change his shirt. So he had pina colada.
We were the only people at the bar. The only people who saw us were the bartenders.
So he had pina colada all over his shirt, and we sat there. Later in the week, a few days later, we seen the same Mexican lady. The same Hispanic lady. She would come in. And she would bartend and wait tables, and then we had seen her around the resort a little bit. And one night,
It was Cody. That was our very first fucking night.
Was it the very first night?
Everything that happened was our very first night.
Okay, so the very first night we were talking, and
Cody, the little what do you call it? Rico Suave.
Call me the Latin lover. So earlier that day, before we went to dinner, we seen it's like a I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of what it's called, but it's like a guinea pig rat thing.
On our first day, what are you talking about?
The guinea pig rat thing in Mexico.
I don't know. It was like a tiny capybara. That thing.
Oh yeah, it's
You typed in Mexican rat.
Yeah, I typed in Mexican rat. I typed in it's called the agouti. It's the Mexican agouti, also known as the Mexican black agouti. It's a species of rodent in the family. The sick of the yeah, that's basically it. It's like it's kind of like
it's a mix between a squirrel and a rat.
It's like a giant squirrel. It's like a giant squirrel. Basically like a giant squirrel.
If you scroll down, there's the raccoon we saw too.
Oh, the Coyote.
Yeah.
Coyote. Okay, so it's like a giant squirrel, basically. Well, we seen one of those, and I was describing it to the waitress at the bar, and she kind of made a teeth with fangs face, and I said, "Oh, they're mean, huh?" And she said, "Yeah, they're mean." And then we got to talking a little bit more.
They didn't speak hardly any English.
No, they didn't speak hardly any English.
The only ones that spoke English was
the only ones
bartenders.
The only ones that spoke the best English was the bartenders, which was Sergio and Fred, which I still have their picture on my phone.
So do I.
So we got to talking and we got to talking to the waitress actually, and by the end of the night, she told us that she carries big dick like a fire hose.
No, you were messing with her. I don't remember what you were doing.
Oh, I can't remember what I was saying, but I said, "Muy es grande."
Yeah,
me is big. I said me is big. I said muy es grande. Me is big, which I was big, but by my body size.
No, you were talking about your dick.
Yeah, I was talking about my dick, and she acted like she threw something over her shoulder and was like walking
dragging
with
it behind
and
her.
I said, I think she carries big dick like a fire hose.
Like it seems like these Mexican girls carry big dick like a fire hose down here. That was the funniest part.
Yeah, she definitely carries big dick like a fire hose because she looked like it.
Like she was just like threw something. She looked like Santa Claus carrying a big package of presents. She's just like, and like acting like she was dragging. I was like, Jesus. Oh, them guys were. I mean, them people down there are hilarious. They're so funny.
Very funny.
I mean, they deal with drunk tourists the whole time, but oh my god. And then we ended up staying there, I believe, until it closed, which was like 2:00, I think. Then we ended up going back to the room, and we went to bed. Woke up super hungover in the most uncomfortable beds I've ever had in my life.
Were they really that uncomfortable?
Fuck, they were so hard.
I don't remember, it was so long ago.
So hard. It was like sleeping on a box spring the whole time.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it being that uncomfortable.
They were like made of canvas.
I don't even remember that.
They were horrible. And I just remember waking up and I was like, what the fuck? And like my whole sheet was pulled off my bed. I was like, what? And I was just scratching this thing. It was like a piece of nylon, like a duffel bag. And I was just scraping it. I was like, why? Why is this so rough? It was just like...
I don't even remember that. I don't remember it being that hard. I don't remember even sleeping, hardly.
It was so uncomfortable. But the coolest thing about our room was they had the soap in the shower was in fucking dispensers. They had the body wash, the shampoo, and conditioner all in like little dispensers so you could just sit there and pump in the dispensers.
Oh, that was definitely pretty cool. And then remember that one night that we were walking from the dining hall and I seen something in the trees.
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Yeah, I seen something in the trees and you said, I don't see anything.
It wasn't in the trees. It
was along the tree line.
Yeah, you saw something moving in the bushes.
Because I was looking at you and it was moving in the bushes behind you. And I said, what was that? And you looked around and said, what?
You thought you saw a fucking cougar.
Yeah, I thought I saw a fucking cougar. I thought it was a goddamn cougar on the resort. I thought we were going to die that night. Because we had just got done from eating and we were going back to the room and then we were going to go drink after that or go to the show.
I think we were going to the show.
Yeah, we were going to the show. And as soon as we turn back around, we see this fucking giant raccoon thing run across the...
I just saw some giant thing across the path.
Yeah, run across the path, and it's called the Coati. It's called the Coati. It's basically the Mexican version of a raccoon, except it's huge. Honestly, it kind of looks like a lemur.
Well, it gets the size about a medium-sized dog, but the thing is, it has like a 4-foot long tail.
It's like a striped raccoon tail
that sticks up,
and it is big. It's really big, guys. It's definitely, it probably weighs at least 50 pounds.
But the thing is, it's just like a raccoon because the reason it was there is just it snoops around in trash. And all that shit. It's exactly like a raccoon. I don't know if they have opposable thumbs like a raccoon, but it's exactly the same thing.
The cool thing was, though, before like 10 o'clock a.m., on the resort, all these huge 2-foot iguanas would climb down out of the trees, and they would sunbathe before about 10 a.m. before it got too hot. Mm-hmm. So if you were out before, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, before it got too hot, all these huge 2-foot iguanas that you've never seen before in your life would be sitting in the middle of the pavement in the middle of your resort. And they're wild iguanas.
I said not to fuck with them because they'd bite you or something.
Yeah. And on the way there, going down the interstate in Mexico, those things are like roadkill. They're like deer. They're like Indiana. They're like deer in Indiana. Iguanas in Mexico are like deer in Indiana. You just see a giant pile.
I'd say possums.
Yeah, well, it's just like a giant pile of fucking iguana in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I seen a deer actually today on my way here in the middle of the road.
So did I. But yeah, we had fun during that trip. We didn't go to the concert the first night. We went the second night. The second night was the Bryan concert. We went there, and I remember we had fun. The thing was, we didn't know that it was like legit, like a mile walk from where we got dropped off, because you could take a shuttle all the way to the last hotel, but you had to get off at that hotel and then you had to walk to the end of this path, and the path took you all the way to the beach. Well, the beach was like 3/4 of a mile down this path, and then once you got there, then you turn right and then walk another 1/4 mile through all this stuff that they had set up, big giant pyramids and all these crazy lights they had in the palm trees and all this stuff. And then they got to the food vendors, and then they had the alcohol and beer tent, and then they had the sound system and the stage, and we were always by the beer tent. We didn't get there early enough to get by the stage, but we always stayed back because you could hear that music all the way down the beach. So we just hung out by the beer tent so we could always get close to drinking and getting drinks and, having fun. So that first night, I think we just drank beer that first night, and the only thing you really had to know down there in Mexico was Dos Cerveza, which is 2 beers.
But yeah, that's the only thing I said for the first 3 days was Dos Cervezas. And then I would always say gracias or hola or something in Spanish, just a single word phrase. And when we were coming back, so I actually caught myself. When we were coming back, I actually caught myself when the flight attendant gave me my free pretzels and water. I said gracias, and I said, "Oh shit, we're we're in Atlanta now. We just came back from Atlanta." I was like, "We're not Mexico anymore." So I said gracias.
It took a minute. It took a couple of days to honestly get over it because we said it so much.
Yeah, we did. We said it constantly because
when you're there for 4 days, yeah,
the culture's kind of ingrained in you after that.
Yeah, but we had. It was fun, and then the the third day that we were down there, we did basically the exact same stuff. We'd wake up, whenever we got good and fucking ready, and we'd go and eat lunch, and we'd come back to the room, and like we didn't sign up for anything because this is just like a spur of the moment. I mean, I think I won this thing like in October, and then had to get all this money together and get everything ready to be able to go down there and do all this stuff. So we didn't really have anything prepared, and you had to sign up for like extra activities like quit, Bo. You had to sign up for extra activities for like, jet skiing and stuff like that, like 6 months in advance. So we couldn't really do anything. But
Which I wasn't really worried about anyway. I don't really like going on offshore excursions. I would like to go snorkeling one time. Other than that, I'm not really interested in anything. I'm not really interested in anything besides snorkeling. The main thing I would like to do is snorkeling one good time.
Yeah. But we ended up going to, we ate dinner, and then we're like, well, I think we had like 2 hours after we went from the hotel room to eat, and we're like, well, we got like 2 hours before this concert. You just want to go pregame at the bar? So we started drinking, and we drank for those exact 2 hours until the last shuttle came to take everybody to the concert, and that's what we did. We got on. I was hammered already.
Oh, me too.
And I was like, Cody,
that was the first Florida Georgia Line concert too.
That was the only Florida Georgia Line concert. They only had one. Was that third night?
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember I was like, Cody, the shuttle, we gotta hurry up. And I just fucking booked it, and I started running, and I climbed up on that thing, and I remember getting up there, and I was like, Cody, what are you doing? And I just turn around, and I just see you walking to hurry to try and get on this fucking shuttle bus. And we were headed to that last concert for Florida Georgia Line, and we get to the last stop, and we get to the beach, and we head to that concert, and the only complaint I had about that concert was it was just way too fucking loud.
It was super loud. I don't know. They had their sound turned up extremely loud. It was just, I don't know. It was
too loud. It was almost annoying.
And there was those two couples from, where were they from? Arkansas?
I don't know where they're from.
Arkansas or Iowa or something like that. And I just kept hitting on the other dude's wife. I just kept hitting on that guy's wife.
I don't remember that.
I just kept hitting on her and dancing with her.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all I do. He's like,
I remember that one girl came through the crowd from fucking unknown places and gave us like kisses on the cheek and stuff. I remember that.
I don't remember that.
We were hammered before. And then after that, that's when we met was it that night or the Luke Bryan night whenever we met that Russian dude?
That was Canadian.
Oh yeah, the Canadian dude. And
I think it was the night before that when we met, or it was the night after that when we at the Luke Bryan concert we met that Canadian guy. And
then the last time we saw him, he was headed to the medical tent.
Yeah,
that dude was.
The last time we saw the Canadian dude, he was dancing around like he was dying and having a seizure, like he was convulsing because he was dying.
Yeah,
that is all I remember about him. And then we also seen that girl that danced beside us that whole night because she was probably on LSD. She's probably on LSD or PCP or something like that because she danced, or Molly, because she danced the entire night, and it was not a synchronized dance move. It was just nonsense.
I just remember
flailing her arms in the air.
I just remember that we seen more than one super fucked up Canadian because that's where they go. Like Canadians on spring break and stuff like that.
They go to vacation. We'll say winter vacation.
Well, vacation. They go to Mexico. I mean, in the winter months, they go to Mexico. They might go to Florida. Stuff. I don't remember last year when we were in Florida if we met any Canadians.
No.
But yeah, they basically go to Mexico and like the Caribbean and shit like that. But
that one Canadian couple we met, they'd have been there for a month, and they were going to stay there for another month.
Who fucking stays there for 2 months?
They were going to stay there. They were going to stay there to watch the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was the first week of February that year. So they were going to stay. They were going to stay there for 2 months, And every time we seen them, I remember they go, "Hey, Indiana." We go, "Hey, Canada, eh?"
Yeah.
Every time. There was so many Canadians.
I couldn't stay on vacation for 2 months.
I could.
Like, not me. Not in one place, anyway. But
I don't know. That resort was pretty nice. I could stay there for 2 months.
I guess. But we had fun and that's the Florida Georgia Line concert. That night was when everything kind of went to shit. I don't know, went to shit, but that's when everything got a little wishy-washy. But I just remember that we got so fucked up, and I remember I went to the bathroom one time, and this guy was taking a piss, and I don't remember what was going on. Maybe this guy was taking a shit or taking a piss, and he didn't lock the door, and some guy just opened the fucking door on him, and they almost got in a fight. And I had the door closed, and I was just taking a piss, and I hear this commotion outside, and I'm pretty sure they almost got into a fight. But I remember leaving. I remember partially leaving, and we'd been drinking rum and cokes all night, and I kept giving the little guy that was giving us drinks, I give him $1 here, $1 there. Well, they'd come back and be like, "Oh, no, take 2 drinks. So I'd be double fisting rum and coke for the entire show. And then Cody had some fucking brilliant idea. He's like, "I'm not walking back to the fucking hotel." So he pretended to have a hurt fucking ankle.
Yep.
And fake an injury.
I said
said
we were so drunk that I said, "I'm not walking back to that hotel." I said, "I'm getting a ride." And I said, "I don't care what it takes. I'm getting a ride." I said, "I'm going to fake an injury." And Ryan literally looked at me. He said, "No, you're not." He's like, "You're not going to do that." I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "I will fake an injury," and said, "We'll get a ride back." So as soon as I see the medical golf carts, as soon as we're walking out of the concert, I said, "Okay, you ready? I'm going to fake a limp. I'm going to fake a limp. My ankle's hurt." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Yes, I am." And I start faking that I have a hurt ankle. A very badly hurt ankle. I started limping.
Senor, I just remember. Senor,
yeah, I said, senor, hurt ankle. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." He said, "You want a ride back?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Give me a ride back." So I said, "Ryan, come here." And Ryan is standing there right beside me, and he's holding on to the back of the golf cart. And
I don't remember any of this.
And I didn't remember. I don't know why, but he put me on the back of the golf cart with a gurney. So he strapped me to this gurney and laid me down on my back. And I had to ride on this gurney all the way to the hotel room like I'm dying. So I'm riding on a gurney, and there's 2 seats in the back that are free. And I told Ryan, I said, "Sit down, we're getting ready to leave." He's talking to his friend, and he's going to be back here in a second. And he said, "Okay." And so you get ready to sit down, and you're like, "No, fuck it, I'm tired of waiting." And you just go off. You just walk off with everybody else. And you were so drunk, I don't even know if you know where you're going or where you're at.
See, I don't remember.
So I said, "All right, fuck you then." So I have to lay on this gurney flat to about 5-10 minutes to our resort, to the lobby. And he gets me there and he drops me off for free. I don't tip him anything. I don't have to. It's his job.
Okay. It's his fucking job.
It is. Anyway, so I get off the gurney and I'm limping. He said, "You okay? You need help with your room?" I said, "No, I'm fine." And all these guys, all these ushers and valets are standing in the lobby looking at me, and I limp all the way through the lobby past the gift shops, and I turn this corner to the right. And when you turn the corner to the right,
there's nobody there.
There's nobody there, and you just take an immediate left, and it goes back to the rooms. So it kind of goes out, goes to the right. It goes straight to the right, and then out, and then straight back. So it kind of does this like little box shape back to the rooms. And once I turn that right corner, there's nobody there. So I limp for about, I don't know, maybe 70, 80 yards. And I make it to that corner. As soon as I turn that corner, I walk straight up and I just walk normal right back to the room.
Because it was a fake fucking injury.
It was completely fake, and I got a ride back for free. Did not have to worry about it. So I get back to the room, And this was back when I used to chew tobacco, and I put a big chew in of I can't remember.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So I'm standing there, and I'm so drunk, and I have the door open, and Ryan's not there, and I'm waiting for him. And
what made you think I would be there?
I thought Ryan.
I was way more hammered than you were.
I thought Ryan is so drunk in another country. I don't know where he's at.
And that's the first thing that we told each other, that we wouldn't get too hammered.
Yeah.
And if we were, we'd at least be together.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, he doesn't know where he's at. We're in another country. He could be, kidnapped by the cartel, which we're inside of a resort, which probably is not going to happen.
No.
So I waited there for about 10 minutes, and I said, okay, fuck it. So I grabbed my key card, and I close the door, and I start to walk. I get about 5 steps down the hall, and I hear the elevator go, ding! And I wait a second, and here this motherfucker is. He turns the corner, completely fucking wasted, and he throws his arms up in the air, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I said, I got a ride back. He said, no, you didn't win. He didn't remember a fucking thing. He didn't remember me faking an injury, getting a ride back. He didn't remember anything. He just remembered walking back, and he remembered making it there.
The only thing that I remember is I remember bits and pieces. I remember it being over, and we were heading, and we went, the giant pyramid that they had for the big Crash by Playa thing. I remember passing that. I don't remember you faking an ankle injury. I remember about halfway up that big pathway to get to the hotel, and I remember bits and pieces of that. And the only other thing I remember is turning the corner, and I see you standing in the room, like closing the door with your shirt off, and I just like throw my arms in the air. I was like, how'd you beat me? How'd you beat me here? The only thing was because I was that at that time I walked faster than you. For some reason I'd be walking faster than you, so I was like, how'd you beat me here? They're like, I got a ride in the golf cart for faking an ankle injury. I was like, when did that happen?
If you ask me, it's the smartest idea I've ever had on any vacation ever.
I fucking guess. I just don't remember. And then I just remember waking up and you're like, you remember how you got back last night? And I was like, I have no fucking clue. I remember walking back and shit. Well, I remember walking back that first night we went to the Bryan concert. And they because they ship people in from other resorts, from like the Hard Rock and all that stuff. And I remember getting there and they're like, I was like, are these buses for us? And they're like, well, are you going to the Hard Rock and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, we're here. And like, oh, you got to go this way like 50 feet and get on the shuttle bus. I was like, well, motherfucker. So I had to climb back up this little hill and like almost rolled my fucking ankle. Like, you got to go over here. And I was like, God damn it. I just want to fucking get on some type of vehicle and fucking go somewhere because I'm fat and I'm lazy and I don't want to walk anymore. I just walked half a fucking kilometer to get to this fucking road. It's bullshit.
But in all honesty, guys, it was not that far. It was not that far at all.
Horseshit, it was fucking far.
It was not that far.
I walked it twice. You walked it once because you were a faker.
I faked an injury and I got out of something. You should try it more often.
I guess.
You should follow my lead. You could have got a ride for free. You didn't have to pretend anything. You didn't have to pretend that you had something. You just had to follow my lead. And you would have got up there for free. You wouldn't have to waste any energy. And then we could have probably remembered it.
I wish I didn't get so drunk, but that little feller, I was just like, here's $5. Like, it was like near the end of the night. I was like, here's $5. I said, that's all I probably gave him $15 that night. So here's $5. That's all I got left. I said, just keep them coming. He's like, you got it. And then he would just, here, take two. And end up, I'd have 3, I'd have 4, and I'd be like, hey, you guys would want a rum and Coke to them people you were talking about who were besides. Like, no, we'll just take a beer. And I was like, 2 rum and Cokes, 4 beers. He's like, okay. He'd be back 2 minutes later and I'd just have a tray of shit.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of fun. And, alcohol is just, I'd like to see their fucking bill on their alcohol because they do not skip on it.
I guarantee they make money on it every fucking month. Every month they make money on the alcohol.
And the only fucking crazy thing that I never got was, like, when we would eat and stuff, and, you know, everybody's fucking American or Canadian there. So, the only thing I didn't get was the line for the cheeseburgers. You remember that?
I remember that line for the cheeseburgers.
The line for the cheeseburgers would be 20 minutes long, but they'd have, like, oxtail and, like, rice with shrimp, and we'd get all that stuff. And then the last fucking day, the very last day we were there, we went and ate lunch, and we got there, and we're like, oh shit, there's no line for the fucking cheeseburgers. And they just had stacks and stacks of them where they just kept pumping them out, and nobody would grab them. So I grabbed one, and you grabbed one, and we sat down. We had a whole bunch of other shit, and we sat down, and I put some, you know, mustard and some mayo and some ketchup on it. Took a bite of it. The most disgusting fucking thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Terrible. Everything there.
I don't know if it was soy or what.
No, everything there was great. If you guys think of your favorite Hispanic or Mexican traditional restaurant, it's not a buffet, but make it a buffet. That is what it was. That is basically what it was.
I mean, I had like
on that resort.
I remember one day it was like I made like a whole thing out of just different stuff. I put like a bed of rice, and I took some oxtail beef with actual goat cheese queso, and maybe some sour cream and some salsa and stuff, and just made a fucking platter out of that. And, like, our favorite spot was the fucking kids menu. Because they had, like, they had mac and cheese and french fries.
And chicken nuggets and onion rings.
Stupid shit like that.
I would always go to the kids' corner. After I got my unlimited buffet, I would go over to the kids' corner and see if they had the onion rings over there today. Because those onion rings were fucking good.
Oh, my God. But that trip was definitely a success. I mean, it was our first time in Mexico. It was a whole new experience. First time flying, first time Mexico, first time honestly, being to concerts like that too, because I had never been to like a famous, you know, singer concert like Luke Bryan or Florida Georgia Line. The Florida Georgia Line, they can fuck off. But Luke Bryan, he can kind of fuck off too. He's changed so much. When we saw him, he wasn't too bad in 2014.
Wait, which one can fuck off, Florida or Georgia Line?
Both of them.
Which one do you think is from which line?
The thing about it is, those dudes are so fucking fake. It's ridiculous. Okay, when they first started, right? The main guy who's the main singer, the redhead, right?
Yeah.
He had the long hair, hippie style.
We'll call him Florida.
Okay, he's Florida. So he had the long hair down to his fucking shoulders and shit. And the other guy was like clean cut, you know, good looking dude. They're both kind of good looking, but the blonde guy, the skinnier guy, you know, not the buff guy, he was, you know, clean cut, all that stuff. Now they fucking switch places. Okay? Now the blonde guy wears like these big fucking hats, super long hair down to his fucking shoulders. And the other guy is clean shaven, all this stuff. It's like they fucking just transformed into each other. Like, I don't know. It's fucking weird. But, you know, they were alright, and then that whole pop country bullshit. But we're not really gonna dive into that. But yeah, I just remember Luke Bryan. He was good back in 2014, and then now he's just turning to the whole pop country bullshit. But anyway, and that was basically our trip to Mexico, and then we had to come back, you know, through flying, you know, came back through the airport, got on that jet, got back into Georgia, and we met the craziest person that we'll ever meet in our life. Well, I won't say the craziest person, but a crazy thing happened to us in that airport in Georgia in the subway. Cody, would you like to tell them?
That happened at the airport?
In Georgia. Who we meet in the subway?
It was our way back from our trip to Mexico.
Yeah, I said that.
So, yeah, we were on a layover. I think, what was it, about an hour and a half?
I think we honestly had 2 hours there.
Yeah, something like that. Well, since it takes so long, you need almost that full time. So we were kind of in a hurry. Well, we got on the train, the underground train.
Yeah, the little subway thing.
Yeah. The little subway train that goes from the ingoing to the outgoing flights. And on that train, we were just standing there, and it started moving. And I look over to my right, and I see this guy, and he's sitting down.
And he has a guitar case.
He has a guitar case. He doesn't look like an average guy. He's got a big, huge cowboy hat with a feather in it, and designs on it, and a beard.
He has like them stones in it.
Yeah, and a beard. I thought, man, he looks familiar.
A great big bushy beard.
Yeah, and I thought, man, he looks familiar. I said, Bryan, see that guy? He said, yeah. I said, that guy looks familiar. I said, oh shit, that's Chris Stapleton. He said, who? I said, Chris Stapleton, the guy that opened up for Luke Bryan on his last night of concert.
And you're like, where's the fucking flyer? I said,
where's the flyer? I wish I had the flyer. And that's the only reason why I remember his name, because I read that flyer. And then when we went to see him, I didn't remember his name.
Yeah.
But I read the flyer and I remember his name. And I walked up to him, I said, hey, what's your name? And he said, oh, Chris. I said, Chris Stapleton? He said, yeah. And I shook his hand, and we both shook his hand, and we took his picture and met his wife, and just a really nice guy. And they were going back home to Nashville at the concert, and it's just a really nice guy. And they were going to the same couple terminals as us, so we got to kind of walk with them for a little ways.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice.
I mean, the crazy fucking thing was like, we come back home, we're like, oh yeah, we met Chris Stapleton there in the airport in Georgia, and everybody's like, who? And then the next fucking year, he fucking won the CMAs or whatever it is.
He won the Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
That next year, his album Traveler came out. So it was
legit like a year.
Maybe a little less. It was maybe 8-9 months. But he was just an opener, you know? Yeah. It was maybe 8-9 months.
Well, I mean, he was touring and shit.
Yeah,
and
he was touring.
Known.
But he wasn't well known.
He didn't blow up.
Because he was still known for more bands like the Steel Drivers. He was in a very pretty popular band called the Steel Drivers. If you've never heard of the Steel Drivers, he was on that. That was one of his bands that he was on. And I would recommend looking them up if you like the old school kind of country, the Steel Drivers. But that's really the only band I know him from that he was on for multiple years. So, but after he was touring by himself, he wasn't really known. I had never heard of him, ever.
No, not until we actually got there and he was on the actual docket list or whatever.
And he was just one of those up-and-coming guys. And after we had met him, it was about 8 or 9 months later, I said, hey, this album came out. Do you remember Chris Stapleton? And Ryan said, yeah. And I said, hey, it's this album called Traveler. I said, we should listen to it. And Ryan said, yeah, maybe. We didn't really think nothing of it. And about 3 or 4 months later, about a full year after that winter, that his album blew up.
Yeah, and he ended up winning.
Blew the fuck up.
He won 2 awards at is it the GMAs or the CMAs?
It's the CMAs. He won a CMA and
he won a Grammy.
No, Grammy's movies. It's an Emmy. No. Is it an Emmy? I can't remember. But he won the Artist of the Year award 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So 2 years back to back won the Artist of the Year award. Who the fuck would have known? I mean, honestly, who would have known? And we met him before he even blew up.
Yeah.
And we still have that picture. I still have that picture. I'm never losing that picture.
I don't know. It was just a cool time, and we flew back, and, that was one for the record books. Got lost in Mexico when we said we wouldn't.
And if I didn't notice him, never would have even thought of it.
No, I mean, I didn't notice. I just saw some guy with a guitar case.
Yeah.
But we had fun. It was definitely, a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I mean, when do you ever win a contest on the fucking radio? I always thought that was a fucking gimmick. They're like, oh, Crash, you can win, 5-day, 4-night trip to the Crash My Playa with Luke Bryan, Florida Georgia Line, blah, 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 all these artists and all this stuff. Sign up. It's like I saw, and I was just like, okay. So I signed up, and I was like, you know what? They may do the whole Facebook thing. So I added them on Facebook, liked them on Facebook, and then dropped it. And I remember I was off work that day because I didn't have to go in. And I just remember getting a call, and they called me and it said Seattle, Washington. I was like, what? And I answered it. It's like, hey, you won the Crash My Playa Luke Bryan thing, and it's like, who you gonna take? And I said, I don't know, I guess my friend or my brother. And they're like, well, I guess you're gonna have to, judge it for yourself and have like some kind of competition and have them wash their clothes or something. And I was like, fuck, I guess. I don't know. And then I just sat there and I was like,
you were on the radio.
No, I don't think I was.
Yeah, you were on the radio.
No, usually they ask you. But and I just sat there and I was like, wait, I just want a fucking free trip to Mexico. And that's when I called Mom, and then I text you, and then I text our friend.
Yeah,
and like, I signed up for that I signed up for that thing 4 fucking times.
And you consider not even taking me, and we don't even talk to that friend anymore now, do we?
I don't
you
remember.
Consider taking me over the friend that you were thinking about taking, and we don't even see him anymore.
No, I just remember, and I told you that, and you were just like, what did you say? Like, what are you taking? I was like, I don't know. They're like, Bryan, I'm your brother. I was like, and that means what to me? Nothing.
It should.
But we had a lot of fun. You're glad you came, because we needed 3 seats because we're super huge, and I paid for that extra seat.
Who were then?
Took a whole fucking paycheck. I think it was like almost $700 for that 3rd seat.
No, it was like 5.
No, it was almost $700 for that 3rd extra seat to Mexico on Delta. Now we fly cheap. But yeah, that was our trip to Mexico, our vacation themed episode. We appreciate you guys listening.
What time are we at right now?
Appreciate you tuning in. We're at time.
Are we?
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty good timing.
But
yeah, we really do appreciate all you guys listening out there. Since this was our vacation episode,
and we're on vacation technically right now.
Yeah, technically right now we're on vacation, but technically, we're recording this ahead of time. So, if you guys got a vacation coming up or anything, we hope you guys have a great time. Memorial Day is coming up. We will be back just before Memorial Day, so we'll get to celebrate that with our family and our veterans out there. So we appreciate every single one of you guys that tune in and listen to this and download the episode. We can't thank you enough. Like we said, we never expected any of you guys to listen to this. So we are very, very grateful. And if you keep listening to that and share with your friends, share with your family, share with everybody.
That's true. Tell somebody, man.
Yeah, just tell one person. Just check it. Just check us out. If you don't like us, you don't have to listen to us. We don't care. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it either way, whether you like it or not.
But if you enjoy it, let somebody know about it. Tell somebody. Just be like, hey, there's these 2 fat fucks that have a podcast. They're kind of funny. Maybe you should listen to them, kill some time or something. And tell them about it. Say it's a Cumcast. They'll probably get a laugh at the fucking title because Cody came up with it.
You're welcome.
But yeah, just tell somebody about it. Spread the word. That's how that's how these things blow up.
And I know this is just the 5th episode, but we're gonna keep doing more. We're gonna keep getting better at it. It's just one of those things that practice makes perfect. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in so far. And hopefully you stay with us and you keep listening. Hopefully we keep growing as a group.
And it's all thanks to you guys. And this thing will. It's just free content. We're putting it out there for you guys.
It's always going to be free. We will never charge for this content.
Nope. But we appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. We're just going to keep going with this every Sunday. We'll be launching the episode. But thanks for listening. You can follow us on our social media, Cody Cummings Official, Cum 007 Ryan for me. And if you got any topics or anything like that you want us to talk about, questions you want us to answer, you're curious about, you can email the podcast at thecumcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you listening again. Thank you so much. This is the Cumcast episode 5. We're out. Peace.
Have a great Memorial Day, everybody. We appreciate you guys.
See ya.